The following BLTV program is brought to you by O'Flaherty Law. Please enjoy.
Hi, this is Heather Jones and I'm an attorney with O'Flaherty Law. And today we're going to do a how-to video for filling out a summons and complaint for Wisconsin Small Claims Court. The Small Claims Court offers a kind of catch-all form to use for your summons and complaint. It's form SC-500. I have the form loaded up here and we'll go through it shortly, but I'd just like to say this is an educational video only. This is not legal advice. If you need legal advice, you should schedule a consult with a Wisconsin attorney to talk about your matter. So starting at the top of the page, you'll see State of Wisconsin Circuit Court, and then there's a blank for county. For convenience, I would do the county in which you reside or the county in which the event that you're complaining about took place. If you're filling this out, you're the plaintiff. There can be more than one, but start with the primary plaintiff, name, address, city, state, and zip. And then if there are additional plaintiffs, you would need to put them on a separate sheet of paper and just click See Attached for additional plaintiffs. Do not alter the form, don't add lines, don't mess with the caption up here. Just put it on a separate sheet that you submit with your complaint. Then you would do the primary defendant, their name and location. You can do more than one defendant, and as above, you can put them all on separate sheet of paper. Don't alter the form. Moving to the right-hand side of the caption, you'll see here in the top right-hand corner a blank spot. Don't touch it, that is for the court. The clerk of courts will file stamp your document, and there might be additional identifying information put up here, but this is an area just for the court, so don't put anything there, don't staple anything, leave it blank. Then you'll see the title of the document, Summons and Complaint, Small Claims. That's $10,000 or under, $5,000 or less if it's a tort or personal injury claim. So those are the dollar amounts you're working with. Anything above those $2 amounts will need to go into the big court, and this would not be the proper form to use. You'll leave the case number blank if it's your first summons and complaint for this matter. The clerk of courts will give you a case number. However, if you have to file an amended summons and complaint, say the court didn't like your summons and complaint for some reason, or if there are additional facts that have come to light, meaning additional claims, additional monies, you would file an amended and you would put in the case number that you were assigned the first time you filed. So this is a catch-all form for small claims complaints. So you have a number of options here. On the left are the options. These numbers on the right are the case codes. So these are the codes the Wisconsin court system uses to identify issues. As you can see, if it's a claim for money, 31001. If it's an arbitration award, 31006. So just have those in mind when you're picking. You usually have a pretty good idea. It can just be a general claim for money, tort or personal injury. Just to clear something up, tort, we're not talking about baked goods here. Tort is sort of a catch-all phrase for general civil liability, not criminal. So that's what people are talking about when they refer to something as a tort. You also have return of property or replevin action. Small claims handles evictions, so these are two of the options. Enforcement of an arbitration award. The small claims court isn't going to arbitrate something for you, but if you received an arbitration award, you haven't gotten it yet, you can enforce that in small claims. And the return of earnest money, which has a few different possibilities. Now that you've got your caption properly filled out, there's a section here where if you require reasonable accommodation by the courthouse due to a disability in order to participate in the process, It should be on that county courthouse's clerk of courts page. There should be a number that you can put in that someone could call if they require accommodation. If you can't find the number on the website, just call the clerk of courts and ask someone, what number should I include on my small claims summon and complaint form if someone requires reasonable accommodations, and put that there. Moving on to the summons. The summons is just letting someone know that they've been sued and when they have to show up and where they have to file an answer. So to the defendant, you're being sued as described on the attached complaint. If you wish to dispute this matter, you must appear at the time and place stated. You must file a written answer and provide a copy to the plaintiff or plaintiff's attorney on or before the date and time stated. If you do not appear or answer, the plaintiff might win this case by getting a default and a judgment entered for what the plaintiff is asking for. So the clerk should give you a hearing date when you file your summons and complaint, and they should provide you with the information to give to defendants on where to appear and where to file an answer. The clerk would have to sign off on this, the date the summons is issued, the date the summons is mailed. It's really important that you do proper service. If service isn't proper and you get a default judgment, it can be one of the reasons why that default judgment would be thrown out. Once you have your summons good to go, you move to the complaint portion. And the state of Wisconsin has really tried to streamline the process for getting these complaints in and heard and out again. So it's really important for you to provide the court with as much independent information as you can when you are doing one of these complaints. A simple written statement by you is probably not going to be enough. The court needs evidence. They need written communications, invoices, receipts, billing statements, anything above and beyond just your testimony to prove that you have been wronged and that the court should provide you with financial relief. You cannot just go in there and testify to the fact that, Joe Schmo from La Crosse, Wisconsin took $500 from you in earnest money and then the deal didn't go through and he never gave it back. You would need something in writing or at least a reliable witness to the effect that the action that you are saying is wrongful took place. So just have that in mind when you are filling out your complaint. It needs to be more than just your word. You've got to have some evidence, something that the court can hang its hat on when it makes a decision. So here at the top of the complaint, plaintiff's demand. The plaintiff states that the following claim against the defendant or defendants. 1, plaintiff demands judgment for, and then you would just restate whatever you chose as the issue in the caption. In their claim for money, remember, it only goes up to $10,000. Claim for tort or personal injury only goes up to $5,000. If you do not meet these financial maximums, if you go above, let's say your combined claims are $12,000, you need to take it to a different court. You do not need to be in small claims. Return of property or replevin action, you can describe it, but you need to check the statute because it does not include with Stat 425-205 action to recover collateral. Eviction due to foreclosure. If you're a landlord trying to evict, copy of the lease, copy of non-payment, that type of thing. Eviction due to foreclosure. If the property is being foreclosed on, you need to provide that foreclosure paperwork. Return of earnest money, like I said, where's your writing? What's in writing to show that earnest money was paid and why? Confirmation, vacation, modification, or correction of an arbitration award. You should have something in writing from the arbitrator showing their decision. Then you can also ask for interest, costs, and attorney's fees, if any, and any other such relief as the court deems proper. And remember, when I talked about earlier about combined claims, if you have a claim for money that's $10,000, but the interest, costs, and attorney's fees have pushed it over $10,000, you're not in the right court. You need to go up to the bigger court. Now, for option 2, you need to give a brief statement of dates and facts. And again, as I said earlier, this is your chance to tell your side of the story to the court, yes, and you should do so. You should create a context. You should create a narrative for the court to get a feeling for what's really going on and why you're asking for relief. But additionally, you need to provide the court with something that backs up what you're saying. It can be an affidavit from a witness. It could be emails between you and the defendant. It could be bank records showing that payments had been made in good faith, things of that nature. You can't just walk into court and say, well, this person was supposed to do something and they didn't do it, and they owe me $5,000. You've got to have some evidence. You need all the evidence you can get. You need to make it very easy for the commissioner or the judge to look at your statement and your supporting evidence and rule in your favor. Obviously, this is not enough room for all of that. So that's why you would put it on a separate document. And then if you have evidence, maybe even label them as exhibits for ease of access when you are in court and you are talking about the facts and the issues. Label them and just say, see attached for additional information. You're going to need to have a copy for the court of all your attachments and a copy for the defendants. So consider at least 3 copies of your complaint, your statement of facts, and your evidence. 1 for the court, 1 for the defendant, and 1 for you to hold on and talk about when you're in court. This is not a sworn document, so you won't need to notarize anything. You just need to identify if you're the plaintiff or the plaintiff's attorney, if you are unrepresented, your signature, and contact information will go here. If you are represented, your attorney will fill that out. Now, we've talked a lot during this how-to video about attachments, and that is because the form shall not be modified. The forms that you can find on the Wisconsin court site to address different problems within the Wisconsin legal system are all formatted in such a way that they're acceptable to the state's e-filing system. So you can't modify, but you can always supplement. So if you don't have enough room, which is usually an issue, you just do it on a separate piece of paper, but you don't add lines or create additional spaces. You don't mess with the margins or the borders. Don't do any of that. Do not modify the document. Now, when used appropriately, small claims can be a very effective means of getting your issues resolved. However, if you find that you have a complex issue and there's a lot of moving parts, it's always in your best interest to go ahead and consult with an experienced Wisconsin attorney. If you find yourself running into problems, it's easier to have an attorney in the beginning than to have an attorney come in halfway or towards the end and try and fix what has happened previous. But this is, if it's a fairly simple setup, this is a good way to go in and have a recovery for any monies that have been taken from you illegally. So if you'd like to learn more about small claims court in Wisconsin, or if you need help with a small claims issue, you can visit our page. It's linked below. And be sure to leave any questions you have in the comments section, and you can always subscribe for more legal content daily. But thank you for watching, and we wish you the best of luck in small claims court.
Hi again, this is Kevin O'Flaherty from O'Flaherty Law. I hope you enjoyed the video and podcast. If you did, I'd love it if you'd subscribe to our channel. If you need legal help in this or any other area of law, please don't hesitate to reach out to schedule a consultation. Most consultations are free and can be conducted remotely if you'd like. You can email us, book online, or call us at 414-253-2080. That's 414-253-2080. We have many locations for your convenience, and we serve all of Wisconsin. Thanks again for watching.